Good morning, everybody. Good morning, 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 good morning. Live, yes, live from the beautiful shores of Charleston, South Carolina, and Football City, USA, Rock Hill, South Carolina. You in tune to the Wake and Bake Show. I'm your host, Miss Green Jeans.
And I'm your host, Miss Geechee Green.
Ooh, girl, they don't know we got a show for them today, girl. We got Shad from DC calling in. So, I don't know where he at. He at the office right now from what he said. So, Shad got to fight that traffic. So, we're going to give Shad a few minutes because he's up in that District of Columbia traffic. So, what we going to do, that gives you an opportunity to do this. Grandma, go ahead and grab that stash box from up under the doggone bed. Pop, come on in. Quit mess with them leaves. You know they're going to blow all over the place today because it's going to be cold. Hey, get your medibles, your edibles, your baked goods, and however you get down with the get down. Oh, if you got some of that birthday cake, please pass me a slice. And I don't mean a slice of the cake, if you know what I'm saying. You in tune to the Wake and Bake Show.
I'm so done with you.
Be done with me, baby, but we're going to be back live in a clicker like this. Like this now, Shad, you are an incredible person, man. We know you had to fight that DC traffic. Also, Shad, this morning I have my co-host, Ms. Geechee Green. Say good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to meet everybody.
Well, good morning, Shad. Hey, this is the moment that I've been waiting on since we got off the air last. Wow. The Marijuana Justice Act 2.0.
There you go.
So I couldn't have thought of a better person. I was telling Geechee off the air how excited I was about you coming on the air and for her to listen to the first show that we did. And so now that she's did that, everybody's up to speed. Shad, the mic is all yours.
Well, thank you very much, guys, and I appreciate it. I think this is another small step forward here for us in the cannabis industry. We're finally starting to get some recognition, at least at the federal level here, that, it's what we've known for many, many years, and it's what the patients have known, and what they're finding, and the new patients, what they're finding out in the states that do have medical cannabis here is that, listen, this is a, I don't want to call it a wonder drug, but I do, I think we've all heard of tremendous stories of medical success, or at least symptomatic relief here. But I think also what Mr. Booker is trying to do here is to rectify some things from the past here that need to be addressed. Plus, to take advantage, and let's not discount this, because I do believe for a certain group of folks, it is going to be what motivates them, and that is the economic impact and the job creation aspect of this industry. And that's what I find to be so interesting, is that it depends on the audience in which you're talking to as to what part of cannabis works for them. My father is approaching 80 years old. Actually, he passed 80 right now, so he is in that range. And listen, he grew up in a must say no environment, and absolutely believed that it was a gateway drug. But I do have to say we've had some success with my pops, and found him some transdermal patches. And like he likes to say, is that there was nothing green, and I didn't need a Bic lighter. But that's what works for him. It was that it was dealing with somebody that looked like a medical person. He went to a dispensary out in Nevada. The young lady that he met did have a clipboard, and she did have a stethoscope on. Now, I'm not sure if the stethoscope was part of her uniform or something like that, but it did make him feel better. And that was the key thing, and he was willing to try it. Had he gone into a recreational type facility, he wouldn't even get close to it. He wouldn't even get close to it. So how we talk about it is so critical, and I think what Mr. Booker and Elizabeth Warren and Harris and Sanders and Gillibrand, all by sponsoring this legislation, are saying that, we need to think about this thing in so many different ways, from the economic standpoint, but also from the criminal justice standpoint. And that, to me, is, Rosemary, that's a critical issue for me. That is absolutely a critical issue for me.
Yep, when I was reading this, that's what I thought about. DJ, I'm going to go ahead and let you jump on the mic because I know you got a lot to say.
Oh, well, I do, because my biggest problem here in South Carolina is we are farmers, so you know how that goes. We already got issues with farming legislation changes, and then the hemp bill is being passed, and then some of the farmers are being denied access to doing what they need to be doing, growing legally on their own property. But I really, really, really encourage people to study up on the Cannabis Justice Act, or Marijuana Justice Act. Is that Marijuana Justice Act? I think.
Yes, the Marijuana Justice Act.
Which is why when I saw Cory Booker this weekend, it was very important that we can actually have a conversation with him, to have an in-depth conversation to figure out exactly where he's coming from with this aspect. The decriminalization portion is important. Removing it off the schedule is important, but it's really about educating the people, because a lot of people are mentally trained, and they're afraid because of the legislation and information that's already been proceeding to them. They was part of the No Drug Act, so they was like, when they had the war on drugs, that was a big issue. Marijuana is something that no one wants to deal with because it leads into the rest of the drug problems that everybody likes to say. And I really think that this is important. So I'm really interested in listening and hearing and getting this conversation going about this, the Cannabis Act.
Well, I think you bring up a really good point with the kind of lumping in of everything into the kind of drug area here. And it's odd that the kind of opioid and fentanyl crisis that this country is facing right now is a double-edged sword for cannabis. I mean, on one level, some people are, oh, well, it's just another drug. That's it. Drugs are drugs, and all drugs are bad. But as we know, and those of us that have worked with folks in cannabis and worked in this medical field here with medical cannabis, we know that is a wonderful way for people to step down from their opioid problem. And, if they step down from an opioid problem to a cannabis problem, and let's be honest, 9% of people that do try cannabis do become addicted to it. I would argue that you are trading a very low level of risk for a high level. The high level of risk being an opioid addict, because that risk is that you will die. So to me, that's a really interesting aspect, the kind of definition of what drugs are. But to me, my class is a business class. So for me, the real critical part, on the justice side, it's decriminalization. I think if you have possession or use, that should be expunged. If it's distribution, I like what he has written into the act here, that you can appeal to the courts for a shortening or lessening of your sentence for distribution. And I'm going to say that I would draw a line between distribution and just simple possession. So great that the simple people with possession, they can have that expunged, and I think also those that have been convicted of distribution, if they can have that reduced, that's all better. But from a business standpoint, the real critical thing here is descheduling or rescheduling. That Controlled Substance Act, is
It's a
my
backbreaker.
God.
It's very important that they reschedule it because it affects so many different things on the business level. It affects a lot of things on the business level, especially on the financial level.
Well,
Exactly.
and great point there. Affecting things on the finance level, it has a social justice aspect to it here. From what we know here in Maryland, most of the grow facilities have invested at least $20 million in their facilities. Most of the dispensary and processing facilities have at least a minimum of $1 million. And given that there is no access to the banking system, which is a direct result of Schedule I narcotic here, that means that is going to preclude a lot of people from entering into this industry because they simply can't get a loan to get into this. They may have a great idea. They may have this tremendous, business plan, but if they can't get a loan for it and they have to rely on personal wealth, well, you've just knocked out a heck of a lot of people. And basically, let's be honest, you've left it for rich white guys to take over this industry, and that is not what we want to see here. We want to see absolute access for everyone to this industry, and it should be as diverse as wherever we are. But the deep scheduling also, not only is there the banking issue, not only is there the issue for these existing cannabis firms. I mean, how good is it now that we have 70% of the companies are running all cash businesses here? I mean, okay, if you're in the safe business, that's good for you, but come on, this is putting employees at risk. This is a tremendous waste of resources for any business. I mean, come on, a liquor store doesn't have to deal with this, but the cannabis industry does. My gosh, it is simply not fair. And my point, I'm rambling here, but I'm going.
No, let me tell you something, Shad. You know how I am. I let you speak your piece, and the people love it. So you continue on. Go for it.
Okay. But my piece is here. I think so. Why have us in the cannabis industry taken this, basically? Why have we been willing to, work on an all-cash basis or try these crazy cryptocurrencies? I mean, listen, maybe it's an answer, maybe it's not. I think there's too much risk associated with it. But you know what? My thought is that I think the people in the cannabis industry have been they feel they're so lucky to get in the industry that they're willing to take these things. I'm willing to take the fact that I have to be an all-cash business. I'm willing to take the fact that I can't get a loan. I can't even accept a credit card from my customers and stuff like that. I'm unable. Listen, and the tax issue involved with this, it's called 280E. I encourage your listeners to look it up. These people in the cannabis industry are paying taxes on their gross profit, whereas every other business in America is allowed to take away the expenses of wages, the expenses of utilities. These are normal things here in the cannabis industry. No, the companies here pay their taxes on their gross profits. My point is this. Why have we been so willing to okay, we'll just take it. We're just happy to be here. You know what? That time is over. That time to me is over. This is a real industry. It is creating real jobs. It is creating economic development. It is helping the states out. Even without medical taxes in there, there's still other ancillary businesses that are benefiting from this, and therefore we are, the states are benefiting. It is about damn time now that the cannabis industry be treated like any other industry in America, and that starts with descheduling or rescheduling it.
I agree 100%. We have to realize that people's minds, that's the main thing. We got to get them to understand education of cannabis and what it exactly is, because their minds are so stuck in one direction that they aren't really listening, to, hey, we need to treat this as a real industry. We need to.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I tell my class all the time, for 5,000 years, starting with the Chinese, and thank God the Chinese wrote things down, because we know in 2737 BC, the Chinese were starting to use cannabis for medical reasons. For 5,000 years, this damn plant has been medicine. It has only been in the last 100 years, and I consider it to be the most successful propaganda campaign ever on this planet Earth to demonize this plant. Everything from the word marijuana, which is a made-up word, you're not allowed to use it in my class because I believe it denigrates black people and Hispanic people. I believe, I think we have to overcome, and thank you for your preaching to the choir here, because given that I am a college professor, I believe the answer is education all the time. I mean, I think that is what we have to do. And again, how we educate people is a function of who we are educating. Like I said before, if it's somebody that's a politician, I tend to talk about things like job creation and economic development. If it's somebody that is in medical distress, I focus on the medical part of it and stuff. And if it's for my students that want to be entrepreneurs, I talk about, hey, listen, this is a brand new industry. You have this opportunity. There's no set competitors out there. You can be the future of this industry. So absolutely, education is critical, but I think it's also critical for us in the industry to understand who we are talking to and what is the messaging that works best with those folks.
Okay, on that, we're going to go ahead and give them a quick musical break, and when we come back, Chad, we're going to go ahead and talk about what's else in the news real quick. And I know you're going to love this one. It's going to be about Florida. We'll be right back.
Super duper.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. For that we have each other, and we will rise of the air, I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
And we're back, guys. Hey, I just wish sometimes y'all could hear some of the conversation that be going on in the background. Now, as we was leaving, I know Shad's got to get up out of here because he's got things to do, and we appreciate your time, bro. But check this out, though. How do you feel about Florida going red?
Florida. I mean, like you said off air, if I was going to put a list of those states that might be last, if we're going to go state by state in America, Florida definitely would have been towards the bottom there. But hey, listen, I think it's listen, it's a good thing. It's a big state. It's a lot of folks down there. I think the job creation and the economic development from it is going to be absolutely tremendous. The other thing I do kind of what at least we saw here in Maryland was that each state, as it kind of rolls out its program, it kind of learns from the mistakes of the others. And so I'm hoping that when Florida does roll out a program here, they do have a couple of things. Number one, I hope they do not have forced vertical integration. What that means is that if a license is given to grow, then you can only sell your products through your dispensary. Here in Maryland, any of the dispensaries can get their inventory from any of the licensed growers here. So what that has meant here in Maryland has been and completely great for the consumers and the patients here is that we have seen the price of cannabis going way down. Way down. Even the most expensive stuff now is about $280 an ounce in our dispensaries. I have heard of $10 sales. Now it's not the best stuff. It's not the prettiest stuff. But listen, a $10 eighth is a $10 eighth.
You got that right.
So, and my point has been the same. The growers are Henry Ford. They're really smart. They know what to do. They know how to do it. They are incredibly efficient at what they do. And as long as that is being passed on to the consumers, that is a good thing. But I think that is, number one, a function of having the dispensary owners able to go to any of the different growers and say, hey, that's a good price, but this other person's got a better price. Can you sharpen your pencil on that? And when you have that, you have, well, listen, to me, the definition of a successful program, whether it's rec or whether it is a medical, is customers are being served, whether they're patients or they are simply recreational customers, and the businesses have to be successful as well. I have found that most of the cannabis owners here of the companies, they're just serial entrepreneurs. They own restaurants, they own car washes, they own accounting firms and stuff like that. They just like starting a business, so they need to see something there. They need to know that they can be financially successful. So I'm hoping Florida figures that out. I hope that they don't have forced vertical integration, and I think they will have a wonderful industry, and you will create jobs all over the place. Listen, it is not, I've tried to explain this to folks, that it's not just the grower, the processor, the dispensary. But think about the jobs that are created. And if you can kind of envision like a target here with that in the center. First of all, the next ring of the target would be what I would call the direct support. So those things that you would see in a grow facility or in a dispensary. So lighting and copiers and T-shirts and stickers and fencing and fertilizer and nutrients and all of those types of things. That would be one level of businesses that are being supported. Then you have the next, an outer ring, and that would be the indirect support. So electricians and plumbers and transportation and drywallers and the people that sell furniture and fixtures. And then even another layer that you may see, and we saw this in Colorado when it was first legalized for recreational use, and I call this the tertiary layer. And this would be the bread and breakfasts, the hotels, the bike tours that are being, augmented by this industry. One of my great success stories was a young man that went out to Colorado when they legalized in 2014, and he started a pedicab company. The young man had no interest in cannabis. He doesn't want to smoke it. He doesn't have, but you know what? He's got 9 people pulling pedicabs that have a full-time job, and they are dragging people to the Green Mile there out in Denver. So that means we don't have people driving around who are intoxicated. You have a young man that has started a business, and he has provided full-time employment for people. So to me, that's a win-win-win, baby. That is a win-win-win in the cannabis industry. And so, yeah, we're hoping all good things for Florida. Okay. All good things for Florida.
Okay, well, you're going to love this one then. Let me go ahead and tell you one of the things that's in the bill. They're going to let you grow.
Oh, my gosh. Now, I think that's the one issue I have here with Maryland. They do not allow home growing. I think that is absolutely critical. I think it's critical for a couple of reasons. One, it does support the hydroponic companies and those industries and stuff like that. But to me, the critical nature of home growing is if you have a medical need. And if you have a medical need and you are one of very few patients, I mean, remember, the growers, the dispensaries, their businesses, they are going to grow and they are going to sell product that they think is going to sell the most of. Right. So if it relieves pain, that is going to be the strain that they focus on. So if you have a disease or some kind of condition that not a lot of people have, there is no incentive for the growers to grow that strain for you because there's just not enough economic kind of weight behind it for them to make any money on it. So I love the fact that they allow home growing. I love that. Now, do it safely. I live in the District of Columbia. You got to be 21 years old to home grow. You can grow up to 6 plants. If you have 2 21-year-olds living in the house, you can each grow up to 6 plants. So maximum of 12 plants. I think that is a reasonable number there, but I absolutely believe that is a good thing. And you know what? I think also what we're going to see down the road here, is it very similar to what we see in the beer industry. You have your Budweisers, your Dilly Dilly Bud Lights and stuff like that compete on this low price level here. But look at what has developed in the beer industry. These kind of high end craft brewers and stuff like that. And most of that stuff came out of home brewing. So I'm hopeful that we're going to get some really innovative and experimental type folks here that are going to do some home growing, and they're going to develop those new strains for us.
That would be a plus. Chad, you got exactly a minute left to let people know who, what, and where before you do your click.
All righty. Just one other thing I wanted to tell folks about here, and I am a professor. I'm at Anne Arundel Community College. I'm located outside of Anne Arundel. I'm in Anne Arundel County, right outside of Annapolis, Maryland. And as we were talking a little bit off the show there during the break, I'm going to be heading out to a prison this week and do some educating. We have a wonderful program at Jessup Correctional Institute, and we teach the prisoners a certificate program. It is a 6-course program in business management. And you know what? The folks that are residents at JCI, they are no different than the students here at Anne Arundel. They are looking to impress somebody. The students here are looking to impress an employer. The folks there at JCI are looking to impress the parole board, because and listen, what we want them to have is a skill when they get out. I tend to believe that a lot of folks end up in prison because they don't have an economic future. If you have no economic future, then stealing and robbing seems to be an option for you. But if we give folks an economic future by having a degree and a skill in which they can get a job, we think that is a wonderful thing. But I want to close with a really touching story. And Rosemary, I've cried only 2 times at work, and both times have been at the graduation ceremony out at JCI. And like I said, most folks they're trying to beef their resume up, before the parole board. So we allow the inmates to speak at the ceremony. We do a full ceremony out there, pomp and circumstances. I go out there in my whole regalia and all that kind of stuff, and we let them speak. And one gentleman spoke about the challenges he had. He had difficulty reading and stuff, and how he got support from so many folks within the prison system to complete the program. And then he closed by saying, I'm here for life. I have no chance of parole. And I went up to him afterwards and I said, my God, sir, I get it that these other folks are trying to impress the parole board, or some of these other folks are trying to make sure they have an economic future when they do get released. I asked him, I said, why are you doing this? What, you're not getting that out of this program. And he said to me something that has stuck with me for a while here. And he said, I wanted to do one thing in my life that my children would be proud of. And I thought to myself, and I turned to him, and I had tears coming down my eyes at that moment. And I said to him, I said, sir, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing us to be the one thing in your life. And listen, these are fine folks. They have made a mistake. They are getting it together here, and I'm going to be heading out there this week and doing some educating at JCI. But it's of all the things that I do, and I love doing the cannabis stuff. That is one of the areas that I am kind of most proud of what we do here at Anne Arundel Community College.
Well, you know what, Shad? Like I said once again, and I always say, I always got an open mic here anytime you want to come on the air, and we are proud of you too for what you do. If I didn't like what you do, you would not be on the mic with us. And
definitely not.
Also,
I love it.
Yes. So one last thing.
I don't like it. I love what you do. Yes. I love it.
Yes. Thank
you.
Just
keep up the good work. You got support from us, 100%.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Talk about it.
All right. Next time, you let me know, Rosemary, when you want me back on, and you got me, hon.
All right, then. You take care and have a great week.
Take care.
I'm working it. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. Wow.
He had me in tears.
I mean, yeah.
I was in tears.
After that, we went a little bit past the hour. We're going to go ahead and go to our 30-second spot. We'll be right back. You're in tune to the Wake and Bake Show.
Right. Wake and Bake Show. Wake and Bake.
When you're under the influence of marijuana and you choose to get behind the wheel, you know it's wrong. So if you don't listen to your instincts, think about your fellow passengers. Or think about the other people on the road. Even the unexpected ones. And if you don't think about them,
you'll answer to us. Drive baked, get busted.
Monday morning and I check my stash. Just some shake, wake and bake on some Moroccan hash. Coffee break, some organic fair trade beans popping. Now I'm awake and it's time to go shopping. Roll to the dispensary, patient of the century. Need a nice sativa that will stimulate me mentally. Buds with sticky density of moderate intensity. Pipe like Sherlock Holmes cause the sweet is elementary. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any strain man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any strain man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Breeze through security, get my ID checked. Next to the purple-haired girl at the front desk. Knows my name cause she sees me on the regular. Waves me in, says please turn off your cellular. Walls and walls of green buds, jugs full of flour. Indicas for indica, sativas for the power. Bow to the bud tender cause he's paid by the hour. As your concierge, your cannabis with OG sour. Thinks I'll be a fan of this organic stream with amethyst. Bud so damn gigantic you can help but call it Maximus. A marijuana analyst, he gives his full analysis of CBD to THC. Somebody give this man a kiss. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any stray man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Next to me in line is a guy named Wesley. Smoke weed every day since back in the 70s. Now he's buying edibles, his wife's on chemotherapy. Her recipe of choice kicks the nausea temporarily. Here in the dispensary, there's something green for every crowd. Fat pre-rolls that will make Bob Marley proud. Shadow wax, resin extract for the vape crowd. 2 puffs of that and you'll be walking on a vape cloud. Wait now, don't walk away till you pay now. It's gotta be cash till the banks break the shakedown. Make out with the fat eighth and some papes. How dope, man, let the smoke hit you on the way out. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any stray man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any stray man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Blue, green, sour, diesel, Girl Scout, cookies, green crack, white widow, and the bubba, kosher cushies, Northern Lights in next. Got that pineapple express, lemon haze, driven poison, Amy Schumer's train wreck. Skywalker OG, purple haze, grape ape, AK-47, got me loading up my vape. Cali Miss, blueberry, triple diesel, golden goat. The dispensary is open and I'm never going home.
And we're back. You're in tune to the Wake and Bake Show. I'm your host, Miss Green Jeans.
And I'm Geechee Greens.
Hey, girl, I'm going to tell you like this here. Shad is the shit.
Shad was very refreshing. I really appreciate him. I do. And all he did, because he had enlightened and inspired. I can say that. And everybody that listening to the show, I'm telling you, that was very inspirational. I'm sure you took your pen and paper out and wrote down some information.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this here, Geech. I'm going to tell them how to find us if they didn't do that, okay? First of all, shout out to iHeartRadio. You got to go to iHeartRadio. Then you go to podcast. Click on there. Then you click on Miss Green Jeans. You put in Miss Green Jeans Wake and Bake Show. You pull it up there. Okay, for those who are on speaker, y'all already know how to find me because we already here on speaker.com. Okay, now, for those who are on everything else, make sure you type in Miss Green Jeans and a whole bunch of shit gonna fall down in front of you. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you my favorite ones. Greenwise TV out of Gainesville, Florida. Check them out. Also, Dynasty Media Porthole. Make sure you check them out as well. Also, y'all know 710 Radio. So, hey, and might be coming to some more. Stay tuned for that. But,
Woo!
girl, we being heard worldwide. Hey, check this out. I don't know much about some countries, and Finland is one of them, and I don't mean to insult. But Finland, I'm going to have to do some studying this week because, you know, they're at 5% now with us.
What?
Yes.
Finland is liking us.
Yes, they are. And, I mean, all over the United States, we're growing in bigger and better numbers. Germany, I think Germany must have done went back to work because I haven't seen the Germans. So can you ask them to come back? And I think you do speak German, don't you?
I
You say you speak 5 languages, so I don't know which one they are.
I speak German.
I got
Gonna put me on. She gonna tell me once you go and speak German, so the people can come back on the show. How am I gonna speak German to the people if they ain't even listening?
They don't catch. You gotta remember that they get replays. So just in case somebody say, "Hey, somebody said something about Germany."
I don't know how to say that. Let me think about it.
Okay, in Spanish. I know you speak Spanish.
Oh, no, I don't speak that well. I only speak certain things in Spanish.
Okay, we're going to leave the bad words out there.
I only speak certain things in Spanish. Some things like boyfriend, girlfriend, hotel.
Geechee! That's going to be for the After Dark show coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. Woo, guys, I'll tell you, like, you know what? I can't, I mean... With Shad being on the show today like that, man.
I know. It's a come and see eine Wake and Bake Geechee Greens Baking. Oh, wait a minute. What your name is?
Miss Green Jeans Wake and Bake Show.
Come on, see eine Green Jeans Wake and Bake Show. That's what you say.
Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, Jamaica, where you at? Y'all been? I know y'all got a lot of stuff going on there. We miss you, Jamaica. I'm gonna have to.
Is Jamaica legal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so I think
She said, oh yeah.
Yeah. But this is the thing. Jamaica got a lot of stuff going on far in the industry, and I really want to give them a shout out. I'm gonna get there some news tomorrow. I have, I'm gonna get just go ahead, and I think I'm gonna make it.
You gotta say it in patois when you speak. If they speak patois or something like that.
I think so. I think some do speak patois.
I don't know. I know how to speak Geechee though. Geechee is similar.
Well,
patois.
Okay, well we'll go. we want all audiences. So Geechee, that's what you do best. Speak in your native tongue, please.
I'm speaking in my tongue right now. What else my tongue at? You got in my head in it? How am I can't speak without my tongue. I tell you say some weird stuff,
If I did, you wouldn't
people from Florida. Look, they're people from Florida.
Hey, that's all right. We are Floridians, and we have our own language. If you don't know, you better ask a Floridian. They will tell you that. And this is the funny thing. We do speak. All of us speak. No, this is serious though. This is a serious thing. Okay, even though, and I gotta say this, and this is gonna be our last talk of the day, by the way. Even though it's a little off subject, but it's something to think about as everybody's shifting and moving to all parts of the country. And I had to find this out the hard way. People from the South, okay, we have our own Southern dialect and our own Southern language. People from Florida, yeah, we're that next animal that have our own language and everything. And also it breaks down by the county dialect.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now that you ain't tell no lie, because Florida, I don't know what to say about their Southern accent, because I don't know what to say about that. My family, we have events in St. Augustine, Florida, and honey, I mean, when I went to Georgia, I had to learn their language, but I mean, Florida,
Atlanta has their own language, and then it's just country everywhere else. I'm just gonna break the dialogue down to you. But like I was getting back to Florida, okay, St. Augustine have their own different dialect. Each county have their own different dialect of saying everything.
Jacksonville.
Oh my God, one. Jacksonville is like talking to somebody from another planet.
Okay, because I was like, what y'all saying?
And then I'm gonna tell you right now, they call Gainesville country. They had the nerve to call Gainesville country, but if you go out around Stark, Keystone Heights, Micanopy, those areas like that, girl, I can't wait when we come to Gainesville. Yeah, the Wake and Bake Show is coming to Gainesville, and it's gonna be exclusive on Greenwise TV, so make sure you check that out.
Gainesville.
Yeah, on the we're gonna be there on the 18th through the 20th because we have the Indo Session Awards to attend down there. Or did you forget?
We coming to Gainesville 420, ain't we?
Yes.
On the 18th or the 20th?
The 18th through the 20th, Geechee.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I just got lost. I was like, hold up.
Geechee,
I ain't even
put the birthday cake down.
I ain't even smoked I put the birthday cake in the pipe yet. I'm falling back. Let me get on point.
You know what? We're going to go to a musical break, y'all, because Geechee, we just going to have a talk with Geechee. Geechee, make sure you pull out Google, okay? We're going to talk. Yeah, we'll be right back. You're tuned to the Wake and Bake Show.
Wake and Bake!
Is this the cannabis? Caught on the dry side, must escape from reality. Just legalize, and I gonna plant my seeds. I'm just a homeboy, weed is no luxury. To be here, to be there, little high, very high. Everywhere the weed grows, not a real killed a man. Put a blunt against his head, light the light and now he's dead. Ganja, everybody, is a gift from God. So why go and throw it all away? Ganja is meant to make you fly. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, pass it on, pass it on. Save me some for later. Too late, the time has come. Getting legal around the world and improving all the time. Goodbye prohibition, grass has got to grow. Gotta leave ignorance behind and spread the buzz. Ganja, we all wanna fly. This magical herb should be distributed to all. Puff off a spliff. Purple Kush, will you make me want to go? Look at all the lights on, very, very frightening me. Over if you go. I'm just a homeboy, nobody stones me. He's just a homeboy from a dry neighborhood, staring his glass from this illegality. Easy plant, easy grow, will you let me grow? No, we will not let you grow. Let me grow. No, we will not let you grow. Let me grow. No, we will not let you grow. Let me grow. We will not let you grow. We will not let you grow. Let me grow. Sounds familiar, let me grow. Hills above, there's a devil on the side for me, for me, for me. So you think you can't tell me and spliffs make me high? So you think you can't come here and outsmoke the eye? Oh, brethren, pass it on to me, brethren. Just gotta get high, just gotta get high right now. No law really matters. Anyone can smoke. No law really matters. No law really matters to the eye.
Yeah, girl. And we're back. You're in tune to the Wake and Bake Show. I'm your host, Miss Green Jeans.
And I'm DJ Girl.
Girl.
That's just me.
Yeah, girl. As we getting ready to close this show today, guys, I'm gonna tell you like this here. Y'all don't know, we stepping up the game here at the Wake and Bake Show. We've been in the business here officially 2 years now, officially doing this show. I've did other shows, but exclusively on my own. Now I got Geechee Green with me, and now wow! Thank y'all.
The chemistry is awesome. The chemistry is awesome.
Yes, and
that's all I'm gonna say.
And this is what I gotta say to the listeners. I thank y'all so very much. I thank everybody that I mentioned earlier, all the affiliates, all the markets this is going to. Thank you very much for believing in me and believing that what I do is out of love and I enjoy it. But the thing is this. Remember, I've told you when we first started way back in the day, back in Denver, Colorado, my goal was to make sure you was politically educated in the world of cannabis. Guess what? Corey Booker, we waiting on the phone call, man. Hey, you already told Geechee Green that you contact your people? She done contacted me. We finna contact our people in Denver. We gonna go ahead and make this happen. If we had to come to you or do it wherever we got to do, sir, it'll be an honor and a privilege for you to grace this stage. And we gonna make sure, because it's finna go on Instagram. It's finna be tweeted, tweet, and what is it, Google and everything else. So, Senator Booker, we are waiting on you. Geechee, you want to close us out?
I'm going to definitely close us out. We had a wonderful show tonight, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed this. When y'all replay this show and share this show, because we're going to replay this show and share this show, and we're going to share it out to everybody. And we want to say, not only that you listened to a really good show today, but I hope y'all learned something as well. And we always look forward to hearing from y'all. And y'all, make sure y'all tune in to us. You can find me on Twitter, and you can also find me on Instagram. You can find me under the Gullah Griot. I am Geechee Greens on here, but you will find me under the Gullah Griot on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, so on that, you know what to say, Miss Lady? What we gonna say?
Hey,
Green
you
jeans?
always know what I say. I got one question for you. Are you awake yet? If not, we're going to wake your ass again tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. Hey, we're going to close it with one of my favorites, Run the Jewels. Hey, ATL, are you listening? Talk to you later, love, peace, and chicken grease. Bye, y'all.
We out.
Gun in the holster be right in the upholstery, somewhere right close to me, just in case the rollers be rolling on the G. My woman keep it in the hosiery. I'm known in my town and on strips where high rollers be. I'm up early where the money folders sipping Folgers be. A country boy chilling in Brooklyn like Lefty spoke for me.
Fuck with us, you fuck with the truth. We speak openly.
Never a rat like Donnie Brasco though, cause ain't no hoe in me.
Notice me, senpai, they cry when I choke to speak. Set this crooked city on fire to light the smokery. Old timers speak of us hushed and touched their rosaries. I lust after greatness, I'm aiming right at his ovaries. Better run from the future, Palooka. You acting like it's safe and the revolution's been. There's liars on the loose if we listen to you. The takers of the jewels never singing a tune in.
All soft, all soft, all soft.
My mama said that I'm not living right. She said I'm crying on you. She said I waited up for you all night. I said I'm trying, mama. My mama said that I'm not living right. She said I'm crying on you. She said I waited up for you all night. I said I'm trying, mama.
So good, fat boy, levitate. God gifted man, how the fuck they try to legislate? Mom, she recover and tell me I over-medicate. I tell her, holy fuck, Jesus Christ, give me a fucking break. She says, don't curse your mama, goddamn it, and do a dinner plate. Damn.
I heard it in Brooklyn where all the sinners stay. You running out of ways to go fuck yourself, I will innovate. The skinniest shitty grin will disintegrate. Every sickening sentence will cheapen them tricks you venerate. Set the phase at the face plate, incinerate. Run the jewels, run with the board, baby, assimilate. My mama said that I'm not living right. She said I'm crying on you. She said I waited up for you all night. I said I'm trying, mama. My mama said that I'm not living right. She said I'm crying on you. She said I waited up for you all night. I said I'm trying, mama. My mama said that I'm not living right.
They want us dying, mama.
My mama said that I'm not living right.
But I ain't crying, mama.
My mama said that I'm not living right.
You raised the line, mama. I ain't lying, mama.
My mama said that I'm not living right. I said I'm trying, mama. I said I'm trying, mama.
Every day I ride on the regular. You just regular, probably smoking on regular. Yeah, you the prey, I'm the predator. Yeah, you the movie, I'm the editor. Every day I ride on the regular. You just regular, probably smoking on regular. Yeah, you the prey, I'm the predator. Yeah, you the movie, I'm the editor. Now tell me what you know about the zone. You go to jail when your man is coming home. Try to get grands, but the plan was all wrong. Wait for the time, but the sand is all gone. What's the regimen? Smoke weed, get the Benjamins. Hit the spot for cocaine measuring. Got a desert eagle, need a city eagle. Trying to tell my niggas the whole city evil. And all I know is murderers and gritty people. But it is what it is, it do what it do. I ain't getting money, my nigga, I keep it moving cause it ain't good biz. $500,000 to $1 million to make you hood rich. If your dope is a dime, or you get you a good brick. You don't understand why I'm talking this hood shit. Turn the volume down or on to the next. Got your girl on Patron, then she's off to the X. Got the Lex from the Japanese triad connect. Iraq, Iran, guns on deck. In the hands of the shooters if the funds ain't correct. Yeah, now what you know about the street life? You could lose your life any night, you don't creep right. Hoodie up with the mask down, school of hard knocks, the ghost never was the class clown. Yeah, every day I ride on the regular. You just regular, probably smoking on regular. Yeah, you the prey, I'm the predator. Yeah, you the movie, I'm the editor. Every day I ride on the regular. You just regular, probably smoking on regular. Yeah, you the prey, I'm the predator. Yeah, you the movie, I'm the editor. Now tell me what you know about the hood. You doing bad, but you plan to do good. You want it platinum, but they'll put you in the wood. You want to ride and switch sides if you could. What's the schedule? Hit the streets, stay credible. Everybody food seem edible. Got the trade pound, got the 4 pound. Ride around town playing pop in the dog pound. Keep a big joint, all along sword. I'm trying to win and fuck the points on the scoreboard. Homie, this the game of death. No Bruce Lee, I don't use a pen or the loose leaf. All I need is a Dutchie, if not 2 sheets of bamboo. Handle, you like the balls on the bike. If you don't want to scar for your life, this is the ghost, I earn my stars and my stripes. Nigga, every day I ride on the regular. You just regular, probably smoking on regular. Yeah, you the prey, I'm the predator. Yeah, you the movie, I'm the editor. Every day I ride on the regular. You just regular, probably smoking on regular. Yeah, you the prey, I'm the predator. Yeah, you the movie, I'm the editor.